Hi, I am Patricia Marlene Gregory Freeman, and I am from Boaz Intermediate School, a teacher leader. This is our induction and new teacher mentoring plan. First of all, new teachers need to know that legal and ethical issues go hand in hand. We have the Alabama Code of Ethics that new teachers and all teachers need to be familiar with. There are organizations such as AEA and other organizations that can help teachers with legal matters. And mentors and administration need to make sure that new teachers are aware of the legalities and ethical issues when becoming a teacher. We have annual training for all teachers, but new teachers have a special summer session where policies are gone over more in depth. And then, of course, if they stay with our system, they will continue with those annual training. And these include FERPA, the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, the Alabama State Department of Education Supports and Accommodations Manual, and the Gifted Continuous Improvement Procedures. Continuing on with training that we have includes Individualized Education Program, the IEP Team Decision Making Guidelines for the Alabama Alternate Assessment Program. De-escalation cycle and classroom management is a training, and then Special Education and Addressing Disproportionality in Alabama is one of these sessions. And a few more. Again, the new teachers will receive a summer session that goes more in depth, and this is part of our yearly training: suicide prevention, bullying model, data governance, and Aaron's Law. There are 9 standards to the Alabama Educator Code of Ethics, and the first one is professional conduct. And of course, an educator needs to recognize professional standards and follow conduct as a professional should. The second one has to do with honesty, integrity, and trustworthiness, and it is called trustworthiness. The third standard is unlawful acts, and of course, an educator should abide by federal, state, and local laws and statutes. The fourth standard is the teacher-student relationship. An educator must always maintain a professional relationship with students both inside and outside of the classroom. We have zero tolerance for alcohol, drug, and tobacco use or possession of any of those. And it is not a professional practice, of course, to use any of those illegal or unauthorized drugs, and an educator is expected to refrain from that. We have a public funds and property code, which means that if you deal with public funds or any equipment, that you are to be trustworthy and have a high level of honesty, accuracy, and responsibility with those funds or property. Standard 7 is the remunerative conduct, which means that an educator is not to accept any kind of gifts from students, colleagues, patrons, businesses, any kind of gratuities when it comes to additional compensation for their job as a teacher. Standard 8 is the maintenance of confidentiality. An educator must comply with the state and federal laws and, of course, the local school board policy relating to confidentiality of student and personal records. Standardized test material and other information are also confidential and part of confidentiality agreements. When signing a contract, the employee is expected to fulfill the obligations and terms for the duration of the contract. And any educator should report if they see any teacher with a breach of one of the code of ethics. Now we have induction. And the first part of induction is special education and response to intervention. When teachers begin, as I said before, they'll have that special training, new teachers, but they need to really be familiar and get help from their mentor with special education in response to intervention as well as with the instructional coach. Our special education department promotes opportunities for gifted and disabled students to participate in activities designated to facilitate maximum student achievement. We have response to intervention, which follows the model for multi-tiered instruction, and our problem-solving team. They help teachers determine if the interventions are working, and if they're not, what else can be implemented with that student so that maybe a different intervention might work. And all these steps are taken before a student is referred to the special education testing procedure. We have an ELL program that's designed to assist ELL students who speak another language to speak English proficiently. It's not just the job of the EL teacher. All teachers are expected to help with the English in all subject matters. We do have an EL teacher that has classes in language acquisition, particularly for the first and second year. Their eligibility for language acquisition depends on their WIDA scores if they have one from the previous year. And at Boaz Intermediate, we have a large Hispanic population, so our EL teacher also serves as a liaison for Hispanic parents. Another thing first year teachers will receive is professional development regarding ELL that provides them with understanding the language barriers and promotes ideas for them participating in the educational program. They will be taught how to read the LEP Limited English Proficiency Plans, the WIDA Access Data, which is a state test given to the EL population, and the WIDA Can-Do descriptors, which are wonderful placement ideas of what kind of activities can be done depending on what a student's WIDA score is. The mentor can advise and share best practices with the mentee for Hispanic or any ELL students based on their LEP plan. The high school and middle school, not Boaz Intermediate, but the two older schools have career and technical education, but we do inform our students about the programs they will go to when they reach middle and high school. And they have an academy model at the high school with classes and opportunities for career exploration, planning, and preparation. They enhance academic applications, achievement, and motivation to learn more, and they acquire generic work competencies and proficiencies useful for employment. They have a bank that actually serves as a bank branch in the high school. They have a complete mock hospital room set up with a lot of the equipment that nursing students learn. We have SNEED, a 2-year college that works hand in hand with Boaz High School for programs that are in the academy model that apply for the programs offered at Snead State Community College. The students participate in many things that relate to real job experiences through the high school, on campus and off campus. Also, with the career and technical education, when new teachers are hired to the middle and high school, they'll receive documents and information about the program. They will know that the foundational skills that support success in education and professional endeavors are still taught, that the purpose is to establish pathways for continuing education and lifelong learning. And these programs help prepare our students as citizens of the future, leaders, and contributors with our global community. Technology is good in Boaz school system, and the mentor will assist mentees with the use of equipment as needed. We find that many new teachers come to us knowing a good bit about technology, including the use of Chrome and Google Suite for Education, which we use, and new teachers, if they're not familiar with that, will be provided training and have to be familiar with that because it's a big part of what we do. The mentor will also help fill out a technology ticket if needed. Our technology department is wonderful, and we have a ticket system for getting equipment fixed. When a newly hired teacher comes to Boaz, they will get a classroom set of touchscreen Chromebooks, a 70-inch active panel titanium smartboard from the Promethean Company. Each teacher gets a MacBook Air laptop, a laptop dock, including the USB docking station, a VGA adapter, and a wireless keyboard and mouse. We are very fortunate in Boaz to have the equipment we have. New teachers will get these items as well as existing teachers that have been in place for a while. We have the pre-K program through First Class, Alabama First Class, in the Office of School Readiness, and it is housed at Boaz Elementary School. When teachers are hired, they will go through all of the regular new teacher training that Boaz offers and requires, but they will also go through a special training as a pre-K teacher through the First Class Regional Director. Human Resources will give the names of those teachers that were hired in pre-K, and the Resource Director will get in touch with those teachers to attend the required First Class pre-K training. The new Teacher Mentor Program is designed to provide for all teachers who are new to the school to set goals. The mentor provides motivation, advice, and support so that we all have success. They work closely with the new teachers for that support and guidance that they may need. The goals of the new Teacher Mentor Program include foster professional growth and development, collaborative implementation of the curriculum, and that continues on with grade level and subject level meetings where all teachers collaborate the curriculum, but some extra time spent with the mentor and the mentee on that. It's to increase student achievement is a goal, and another goal is to increase new teacher retention. To qualify to be a mentor in Boaz City School System, you need to have 5 years of successful public school teaching experience, good communication and leadership skills, and knowledge of school and district policies, procedures, and curriculum. The mentor is required to successfully complete the application and interview process. She will meet with the person she is the mentor of for 2 hours weekly. There will be collaborative planning as usual, but also extra with the lady or gentleman that is being mentored. The mentor will model and observe instruction as well as working closely with the school and district administration regarding the mentor and mentor program. The mentor will maintain and submit accurate documentation, and a pamphlet is more like a booklet is provided by the school system with the expectations of what documentation is needed. And the mentor will participate in teacher mentor training. For the new teacher, as mentioned before, there's a new teacher orientation prior to the beginning of each school year. As well as that, there will be common planning with the mentor, modeled instruction by the mentor, co-teaching with the mentor. The mentor will observe 2 times announced, 2 times unannounced. This does not count as what the administration does for their observation of new teachers. And there are 4 training sessions that the new teacher will attend. They have common fair share duties, responsibilities in the building other than in their classroom. Gradebook checks quarterly. They will maintain their school information binder. That's the documentation, the pamphlet or booklet of what is required in the mentor-mentee program. They will have a 1-year teacher evaluation at the end of their first year, and they will do a year 1 self-assessment. My references come from the Alabama State Department of Education, also from the First Class Pre-K Early Childhood Education website and Boaz City's technology website. I enjoyed doing this presentation and getting the materials together, and that is all of the presentation.